what is going on with Draymond? So I was looking at the NBA, and honestly, I just wanted to see like what was really happening with Draymond. Obviously, we all talk about Draymond, and we all know three main things. He's a great defender. He's a phenomenal winner and teammate, and just like a stand-up guy. Like outside of the basketball floor, he's just like a great dad. It has always been a way to put his team and make sure that his team is winning games and doing stuff like that. And he's always had that kind of effect to him of a ride or die, and it's always been that way with him and his way of being. And this has caused him to be very intense on the court. Obviously, we know that Draymond is a guy who just doesn't play, he also plays to win, and winning in every way possible, or the way that he sees fit. Now, the problem with this is that he's been a player who has recently, not been able to figure out how to play and not foul intensely. Now, the reason why I say this is not because Draymond is a bad player who doesn't know how to play defense without fouling. He's one of the greatest defenders of all time, if we're being honest, just in terms of what he's done for defense and how him playing the center and the power forward have changed the NBA forever. Obviously, that's in conjunction to the Golden State system, but it's also made him extremely important to even NBA history. Like, without a Draymond Green or without like LeBron in Miami, we would have probably never seen the smaller power forward or so. So, in terms of NBA history and the way of changing the game, Draymond is there. Draymond's got it. He's an offensive passer. He's a complete unicorn, which can play defense. He's 6'6" and a power forward. He can pass. And in some seasons, he could shoot, but he could always get to the rack. So he's always had like a pretty unique game, which has always influenced even without him trying to. He's Draymond Green per se is not the best or the most influential player of all time, but his play style has definitely helped inspire what we see as the modern big men of the power forward and even some of the centers which we see today. Like Nikola Jokic, like a center passing before was just completely unacceptable, right? Or he only did it when he needed to. But now we see that type of influence of having your big man be able to pass is something which has translated extremely well. Obviously, Nikola Jokic is the premier player of the league. So as a player, Draymond is amazing. But the only problem with Draymond is that he's kind of crazy, right? He is way too competitive. He wants to win every game. It's like he's one of these guys who is like win, period, right? It's not win, but have some respect. It's not win and make sure that the other team is okay. It's win. And he's always kind of been this way. It's not like he's going out of his way, to go and make the other team get injured, but he'll definitely have some very dirty plays just for the sake of winning. And this is where his problem has always lied. You don't have to be the greatest player of all time to know that you wouldn't like someone punching you every game, someone going and playing the way that he plays, someone just doing what he's doing to people this often. I'm sorry, but like Draymond Green has consistently been known for getting dudes on the ground, punching people, kicking people where it hurts, tugging their jerseys, fouling, and through a lot of his career he's gotten away with it because he wins and because he's good and because he can play this way without really affecting people. Because before it was just like a cheap shot here, a foul here, and we'll maybe get you, but you'll just get mad, but it's not like he'll be ejected from the game. And even if he is, it was for a better cause or both teams were participating. What it feels like this season is just like there isn't even like a structure anymore. It just seems like he's just mad at something because he'll come in and now with the Rudy Gobert situation where he choked out Rudy Gobert in a fight that wasn't even being picked by them too, or in this Yusuf Nurkic situation where he just hit him in the face. And then you had, other situations like when he stomped on Sabonis at the end of last season, when he fouls guys way too hard, and when he has to get ejected from the game just to not cause any havoc. It really has shown the fact that Draymond is probably letting some things out on some people. I'm not saying that Draymond has to do this, or I'm not saying that he necessarily needs to, lay some people out to be good because he doesn't. His defense is enough. But the whole problem is like, what is wrong with him? He started off the year pretty strong with this aggressiveness when he choked out Rudy Gobert. If you guys don't know what happened, it was basically like Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels started off the game. It was like the first minute of the game, and they were already chirping. And basically one thing led to another, and they were both grabbing onto each other's jerseys. I don't know if it was Klay or Jaden who started, but I think it was Klay. And then they basically ripped each other's jerseys apart. Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels. Now, if you were to go and choke out Jaden McDaniels because Klay and Jaden were about to fight, then that's understandable. Okay, you still don't have to choke him out, but whatever. You're defending your teammate. In this situation, how in the NBA it happens, huddles pile up when people start fighting. The entire team comes to stop them, to hold them back, because it's going to be very hard for a ref, which probably weighs 150 pounds, to hold back some of these NBA dudes. So their goal, the other players have to hold each other back. It's what's always happens. And then from nowhere, Draymond Green comes in and just chokes Rudy Gobert into oblivion. He doesn't obviously pass him out, but it seemed more of like an anger attack towards Rudy. Now, Rudy's not liked by many people. And the fact that this happened, it probably made some other NBA players happy with the way that he's perceived in the league. Now, the whole problem was with this entire situation was that Draymond got suspended, but it wasn't the end. It's not like he chilled, Then we come back, he keeps doing his reckless stuff, and now in yesterday's game, the game versus the Suns, he has the ball in an inbounds play. He just turns around and hits Yusuf Nurkic in the face. Now look, I'm not saying that aggressive basketball shouldn't be played. It should. I agree. The 90s and the 2000s are amazing. But when you look at the modern day, right, and when you look at any era in NBA history, just because guys are softer now doesn't mean that you could start just punching people so they get harder. And that's just the facts. Your team needs you to win. They do. As much as some people would like to not give credit to Draymond, they need him because the Warriors' defense sucks without him. Sucks. Right? And their offense is not as fluent. And they need him. They absolutely need him. So on the other hand, the Draymond Green person goes and takes his anger out on other players, and now he is on probation. No, I'm joking. But he's actually, getting sought after the league. Now, this wouldn't be a problem if Draymond was some guy off the bench which just came in to add some toughness and body to the game, because that happens with every team where it gets scrappy with a player on the bench. But if you're the 15th man and you're fighting a dude, it doesn't matter, right? Because you're not playing many minutes anyway. You could be suspended for 4 games and the team's not going to notice. But the whole point of this is that Draymond, being as important as he is, being as good as he is, needs to be able to recognize, I can't just be hurting people all the time because it's going to hurt my team. I'm not saying that Draymond has to go and control himself in any way. Draymond is his own man. But I am saying that he does have to go and at least think about the stuff before you do it. Because I guarantee you that even if you just thought about it for 1 second, what you're doing and what the implications could be, then you would probably not do it, right? Just think about it. I understand that it gets heated in the moment. I understand that you get mad. And I'm not saying go and control yourself. Nah, like just go and think about what's really happening and what you're really doing and what's that's causing for your team. You getting ejected in the second to third quarter, not being able to play the most important one, and having this reputation build up around the league. But yeah, that was it for Draymond. Honestly, I did think that the situation was messed up with Nurkic, as he just got hit in the face for no reason. But I do believe that Draymond is gonna come back, and he is gonna come back in a good form. I just don't like his antics that he's been displaying recently. Yeah,